Virtual reality. What do we know about virtual reality? Not a whole lot. Only what Hollywood has shown us in its various movies that they have released, which incorporates virtual reality into them. In these movies, you are shown that in order to enter into a virtual reality, you need either a port installed into your skin, or you actually fall asleep laying down in a chair and your subconscious enters into this virtual reality world. When in reality, that's not actually the case. With the release of the Oculus 2, you are able to experience virtual reality using a headset that incorporates lenses to give you the visual aspects of virtual reality. You'll use a headset to give you the surround sound effect as if you were actually inside of that world. And then there is a positioning camera which works with the Oculus Rift goggles and tracks your movement. Using all three of these things, you are able to experience virtual reality. So what is the Oculus Rift? The Oculus Rift is a fully encompassing goggle that you wear on your head. Inside of the goggle are two lenses that project the virtual reality world into your eyes. When you run the program, whatever you see inside of the virtual reality is displayed in those lenses. Now, how do you set it up? First, you take the goggles and you place them over your head, as such. And there are knobs on each side to adjust the closeness of the lenses to your eyes. You want to get the lenses as close to your face as possible so that no light can enter into your field of vision that would disrupt your experience. This is the positioning camera. It sits atop your monitor, whether it be on a desktop or a laptop, and it tracks your movement of the goggles. In order to use the Oculus Rift, you're going to need 3 ports on your computer. 2 USB ports. They are standard USB ports. They can be USB 1, 2, or 3, although having a USB 3 is recommended for the faster speeds. HDMI is also needed, and that is a rarity on laptops. It is more common on desktops, but you can find them on some higher end, especially gaming class laptops. You will need to plug the HDMI, which looks like this, into the HDMI port of your laptop or desktop. Here's an example of an HDMI port. Right here is HDMI, and right here is a USB. On the other side of my laptop, I also have 2 more USB ports. My headset is also a USB, but if I had a 2-prong headset, which requires a audio in and audio out hookup, I have those on my laptop as well. Those are very common on desktops also. Having all those ports on your computer allows you to use the Oculus Rift. In order to use it, you'll take your 3 plugs, you'll take the HDMI, firmly press it into the port, you'll take your USB port, firmly press that into the port, and on the other USB, you'll plug that in as well. Now your Oculus Rift is fully connected, and it will allow you to use the device. Without the Oculus Rift HDMI cable and the 2 USB cables, you will not be able to use the Oculus Rift goggles. Once they are plugged in, it will take a couple minutes for the software to recognize the device. Also, one of the USB cables is used for the proximity device, which I showed you hooks onto the display, whether it be a laptop display or a desktop display. So let's go ahead and launch into the virtual reality environment and see how it works. We're going to launch the program. Alright, let's go into the virtual world. First things we're going to do is put on our goggles. The second thing is we take our headset and place it over top of our ears. This gives us surround sound in our ears as well as our goggles. The goggles are pressed firmly against my head. The padding here has tightly pressed up against my face, and we are now ready to enter into virtual reality. Let's have some fun. Now that we are actually inside of the virtual reality world, we are able to navigate throughout the world by using the arrow keys on my keyboard as well as the goggles on my head. If I lean in, my field of vision gets closer. If I pull back away from the positioning camera attached to the screen, it pulls away from the display and gives you a broader look as to what is in the world. We can walk up these stairs and look out the window. What you see are two points of view, a left eye and a right eye. Inside of the goggles, I see one combined image. I do not see two separate images. Because this is a demo, as well as the program isn't sophisticated enough to show on screen one static image, you're seeing two separate images, one for each eye. So as we navigate outside of the house, we're able to look around inside of this world and see everything that's around. Once we are done navigating inside of the world, we can press the escape key and then just come up here to the upper right hand corner and close out of the program. Now that we have completed our virtual reality world, we can take off our headset, take all of our goggles, set them aside, and we have completed our virtual reality experience. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, and I can't wait to go and explore more virtual reality worlds as well as creating my own. I can see that this type of product will give us the ability to help with doctors, nurses, the healthcare industry, as well as the education industry, where we can create scenarios, maybe heart surgery, maybe appendectomy, virtually do a C-section on a pregnant woman. There are many different ways of using this type of virtual reality device. It's not limited to just exploring worlds. You can use it to expand the education experience of students in lower ed, higher ed, universities. I can see very, very complex cases that this device could be useful for. It makes perfect sense to incorporate this into education, especially in those fields where healthcare can take and build cases upon cases of safely practicing medicine using a virtual environment. I hope I have made you think about different possible scenarios where the Oculus Rift can be useful. I've enjoyed making this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you.